Hey guys, FutureManiac456 here, and this is a bit of a different video than what I'm used to doing. So, pretty much I haven't done one of these kind of videos on this channel for a while, have I? But yeah, this is kind of something I wanted to do because the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation Vita, the PSP stores are no longer going to be available to access after July 2nd for the PS3 and PSP side of things. I think it's some point in August. I'm probably going to show a text message on this one so you guys can know. But yeah, those storefronts are going to be gone by then. So pretty much whatever you want to buy from these systems, you might want to do it very soon. So let's actually get into one of the biggest things though. Some people are having some troubles going into the PlayStation store. They can't find the purchase button, they can't purchase anything, they're running errors, the PlayStation Store won't run, it's another piece of crud. So I'm going to be going onto the PlayStation Store now and give you a few examples and give you maybe an idea maybe what could be wrong, maybe what you're doing wrong, because sometimes it's easier to see it on video than it is to see it on actual like text message or whatever. Sometimes people need something like that, like I do. So I probably cut off my audio right there. But yeah, it's because when I'm going to the PlayStation Store, it blanks out the page for a moment and then it actually goes to it. But yeah, after when the PlayStation Store loads, which might take a moment, there we go. So once it loads, you're pretty much good to go. Now, whenever this updated to a new version, like this for instance, it was pretty bad. There was no reason for it to be as bad as it was. And for a very good reason for that too, because it was just not good at all. It was very clunky, very slow, would crash a lot. Now, fortunately enough, it seems like at some point, Sony did understand that, so they actually updated the PlayStation 3 store to run a lot better. Because as you can see, I'm actually having no problems with this at all. So that's actually good news in my opinion. So with that being said though, let's actually look for some games. Now, I will be showing now the first method that you might be thinking about, like go to games. Deals has been completely grayed out. I don't know how long that's been grayed out, but I imagine it was grayed out since October last year, I think. I think that was the last time when they did a sale. That was the last sale that was showing up on the web browser old store, which was originally a good way to get the games off from for PSP, PS Vita, and PS3. Unfortunately, that workaround link doesn't work. Just redirects you to the current PlayStation Store, which doesn't include those platforms. But yeah, you can separate the games to popular, you can separate them to genres, and you can separate them to all games. So if we go to all games, you'll notice that you can add the filter, you can go to content types, regular games or bundles. You can go for price if you're looking for a specific price range. I'm noticing right now there's like a one for like $100. That's funny. You can go by a genre, which can be pretty good option if you're looking for a specific type of game. If you're looking for game type, it's showing up on here for that particular purpose. And lastly, if you go to platform, you'll notice they'll give you PS4, PS3, PSP, and PS Vita games. So in my opinion, this is a good way to search around for specific types of content. So you can go onto, like, say, you can go to PSP games and buy them off here. Like I will show you right now, you can go to PSP section, and as you can see, there's some games off of here, like for Vita, for PSP as well. But is there one that's like specifically for PSP? Because I'm seeing a lot of PS1 classics here. Is that all there really is? Is like PSP. Well, I guess it makes sense that some of them would be PS Vita as well, because the PS Vita could play digital PSP games. So I guess this is technically kind of a pointless thing, but if you're looking for strictly PSP games, then this is a good way to check it out. But yeah, you can look through the list here. It's gonna be a little slow when loading, but yeah, pretty much you can check on all games. But we're going back to that here in a moment. Let's actually go to the search option. And the search option is this. It's not a keyboard anymore. This has remained unchanged since the update. Although I think the PS4 does allow keyboard, so it's a little less clunky. Although I've kind of grown to like this as I was using it recently. So let's actually go for a game here. Let's go for Xenonia, which is a PS minigame. $6.99. Now I'm going to be searching for various different contents that I already have planned to buy anyways. So when we go to this particular thing, it'll give us the option to, it says add it to your cart. So we could go to continue shopping, or we could go to proceed to checkout. If we go to proceed to checkout, it goes strictly to this to proceed to checkout yet again. I'm not going to buy this immediately because I want to add more stuff to the cart. So give me 1 second for some examples. So, as I was doing some searching, this actually is a good example of something else about the PlayStation Store. So yeah, it crashed. This is kind of expected, really, because it happens. But anyways, I was actually meant to just simply go back to the home screen here, but it is a good example of showcasing one thing. If you put anything in the cart and the app for some reason crashes, it still is on the cart, which is fortunate. So we could just go to the cart. I put some games on there for examples. These are ones that I've actually planned to get anyways, so it's like no big deal. This is actually what I planned to get. So I got one each of every little thing here. We got a PS minigame, a PS1 classic, a DLC pack, a PS2 classic, and a PSN game. I know that Puppeteer is available on physical format, but I couldn't really find any information about this. So yeah, we're going to go straight and get these games. So what you do here, I guess one thing to note is, are discount codes even a thing anymore? I haven't even entered one discount code in my entire life, and I never even heard of such a thing. So I don't know. Future me can look that up, but yeah, discount code, if you have one, you can enter it. So we can go to proceed to checkout. Then I'm probably blurring this out right now, but if you're curious, this is your payment types. On the left is add a credit or debit card if you don't have one already on there. You can redeem codes and gift cards if you need a code to redeem, or if you've got a PlayStation prepaid card for the PlayStation Store. Or you can also use your default payment method if you have a default. Anything will work, your credit card, your debit card, or you can add one. You can use PayPal, all sorts of different options, so whatever floats your boat. Once again, I'm blurring this out, but yeah, pretty much once it'll show you like your tax, your subtotal. My subtotal right here is $50. So let's actually go to confirm purchase. If you want to change your payment method, you can do that as well. So let's go to confirm purchase. Now, this is a screen that you'll see if you set your account to require your password. If you have it set to before you purchase anything. So I'm going to be putting in my password real fast, but I'll showcase how it's a little clunky. But yeah, I'll see you in a moment before I put in my password. Well, after when I put in my password, to show that this indeed worked. So now that when you enter your password, the next step you want to do is just hit continue. And if all is good, after hitting continue, after doing all that, there you go. The stuff is ready for download, and it's officially on your account. So yeah, as you can see, that worked flawlessly. other than the fact that my PlayStation Store crashed, but it makes sense. I was staying on there for a little too long, and even the web browser version, the old one, would do such a thing. So you can hit download all if you want to right away, or you can wait. I'm going to wait, but yeah, if you want to buy more stuff, you go to continue shopping, good to go. So here's something I wanted to note though. So I mentioned earlier I was going to go back to games and go to all games. There's a reason for this. So let's go to add filter. Let's go to game type. And as you can see, there's PlayStation 2 Classics and then there's PlayStation 1 Classics. Let's go to the PlayStation 1 Classics, why don't we? So as you can see, there's some games on here. Mega Man Legends, always nice. The Misadventures of Trombone, pretty good options here. Some of these are pretty expensive games now. Strider 2, the Namco Museum Collections, there's all 5 of them on there. Busted Move 4, the Gex games, Metal Gear Solid VR Missions, some Japanese games on here that probably no one can understand the language. Persona 2, that's a nice surprise. Twisted Metal 1, the first Tomo game, Klonoa, definitely a good option there since it's expensive. The Final Fantasy games, always nice. Chrono Cross, most definitely. And you'll notice it just abruptly ends. Like, this is 71 games, it says. But you might be wondering to yourself, there's no way this can be right. And that is correct. It is not right. So if we go to search, and we go to straight to PS, and then do a O for 1, you'll notice the list suddenly grows significantly. These games are available to purchase too, because I will showcase an example here. There's a game on here that you can purchase, and I think it wasn't on here. Like this one, for instance, I just purchased this one. I'll go straight to it on right now, and you'll notice it'll say download. But it's not on there for some reason. It's a PS1 Classic, but it's not on there. But yeah, there's a lot more PS1 Classics on the list than what I think a lot of people realize. So definitely a recommendation to check this part out. Except you might be wondering to yourself, well, that can't all be it, right? Well, there's a good selection of games on here. Some of them, well, you know, the Rayman games, that's always nice on there too. The Spyro games, Crash games, Suikoden, if that's how it's pronounced, Suikoden, I think. Siphon Filter games. Some very obscure games, the Tomb Raider games. Those I purchased a while back, so I know for a fact those work. The second Twisted Metal game. Xenogears. Can't forget about Xenogears. But yeah, but there's one catch though. If I remove that and go straight to PS3, there's still a few more games that are not listed. Alien Crush, TurboGrafx 16 games on here too. Alone in the Dark, because it's a PS3 only game for some reason, even though it's a PS1 game. Bomberman Fantasy Race, that was not on there. That's a PlayStation 1 game too. There was Joe Anarchy again. Let's see. There's Doki Doki Universe, but there's one kind of interesting case here. Like, I don't think Ford Racing was on there either. Again, a PS1 game. Loop Salad. I don't remember if that was on there or not. Motor Tune Grand Prix. Again, that one's not on there. But more importantly is Metal Gear Solid is not on there. Even though whenever I click on this, it's a PlayStation 1 Classic. So, even if you go to all games, even if you check all games, you're not going to see the entire library. And that, in my opinion, is really, really annoying, because you want the entire library to be known, and you can't even do that. You have to search up specific things in order for that to work. And that, in my opinion, is pretty bad. It should not be that way, but it is. Now, I think this is the only instance, and I think it's only that way because this was before they made PlayStation 1 Classics a thing, but I could be wrong. I really could be wrong. I don't think that's really the case, though. I think Sony just didn't clear it up, which brings up to another factor. This store is riddled, and I mean riddled, with repeat stuff, or stuff that's delisted but is still active. Like, take this for instance. I'm going to go for this game for an example here. Blast Factor. So you'll notice there's 2 versions of Blast Factor. There's actually 3 pages of Blast Factor. What? Okay, so if I go to this one, it's not available for purchase. Okay, let's go for this one. It doesn't even give me an option for that at all. All right, let's go to Blast Factor Bundle. Now it gives me the download option. For some weird reason, there's like several different versions of this. Like, look at this. There's another Blast Factor Bundle, and it's empty. Why do these exist? And Blast Factor is just a perfect example I could give because I've seen it a bunch of times. But there's other examples too. Like, hey, let me go to 3. Like, 3D Game Heroes is listed on the PlayStation Store, but if I go on there, you can't purchase it. I think the only reason why it's still listed is because of videos and themes. And I just happened to notice that it says Sega of America. Is that because they bought Atlas? Because Atlas was the original publisher of this game, so I don't know, maybe they updated it, I don't know. That's kind of an odd detail to do. But yeah, 3D Game Heroes is not available for purchase downloadable, so that's a problem. But yeah, it's really, really weird because you can look up these games, but you can't buy them. It's like worse than being delisted. You can't even buy them and it's daunting you. So you kind of have to look for the physical releases. I think the same could be said for this game. Does this actually suffer from the same thing? Let me check up this one real fast here. I don't think it even shows up. I think it's been completely delisted. No, it's these are just for purchase. So so if I go to Driver San Francisco here, which I know has been delisted, yeah, it's no longer available. Even the Uplay Passport is not available for purchase either, so you can't play online with this. But yeah, it's cases like these where it bothers me that Sony didn't even clean it up. And I don't know why, but I hope this video does help you figure out maybe your problem. There's a few other details that I probably should mention, which I'll exit the PlayStation Store for that because it's going to crash one way or the other anyways. You can hit the home button, or rather the PlayStation button on your PS3 controller to immediately exit the PlayStation Store. Okay, now that we are back... Oh. Okay, my screen just flicked up there for a moment. Anyways, so now that you've gotten your games, let's say that you don't want anything else on the PlayStation Store, but you want to download your content. So you can go to Account Management. It'll take a moment whenever you hit the Confirm button. You go to Transaction Management, and then you go to Download List. There's a little bit of a problem with this, though. So if I go to Download List, it lists by... Yeah, it doesn't actually give you a filter option. But yeah, it goes by the most recent purchases. It doesn't... So, for instance, like, you can see I've gotten a lot of games over, like, throughout 2021, and later on it's going to go to 2020. But then when I hit, like... early 2019 or late 2018, it's gonna start dragging out. Like, okay, we already got to the MotorStorm RC problem. So I bought MotorStorm RC a while back, and I got a lot of themes and avatars that were free. But once I hit MotorStorm RC, you can see it is burying a lot of content because of this. A lot of content. And it includes the PS Vita versions too, so that's double whammy there. And that's why my download list is so bulky, because there's so many themes that I've quote-unquote purchased, and a lot of avatars that I quote-unquote purchased. So pretty much a lot of these contents is actually kind of unnecessary. all these free games too that were free on the PlayStation Store. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll get those. Why not? But yeah, if you can download any of these right now if you want to. Like, I'll show a perfect example here. Yeah, as you can see, it goes really, really slow. There's no way to speed this up either. And that's definitely a problem with the download list. Now, thankfully, in my case scenario, most recent stuff, the stuff that I really need to download, are actually up in the top, so that's not really a huge deal. So if I want to, I can download one of these games right now. For short example's sake, let's download Xenonia right now, because it's a short and small file size. PS mini games were designed to be small. They were designed for PSP and handhelds in general. They're kind of like the DSiWare games of the PlayStation. At least that's the way I view it. You know, they're cheap, they're small, they're pretty fair. So with PS1 games and PlayStation mini games, you have to actually install them first upon downloading them. I'm not 100% sure why that's really the case, but once you install it, it's on your system. You don't have to worry about it. And you can download and you can remove the installation file once it actually finishes loading. Because it's not necessary. You can play the games even when it's installed. So yeah, once we go to the PlayStation Minis, you could go to that one and you're good to go. So yeah, pretty much that's all there is to it. There is the only other things I can mention. If you're still running into troubles, the only things I can actually say that might help you out even a little bit, if you're using a PlayStation, it may be dependent on your PlayStation 3 model. For my case, I'm using a super slim model that I think I've had since 2012 or 2013. And as far as save data is concerned, I'm pretty sure it's 2012. But yeah, basically, it's a 250 gigabyte model, if that helps matters. I don't know what exactly the number is, but if you're using a regular, like the original PlayStation 3, the big bulky grill, does anyone remember that? The grill, okay. But yeah, you know, you got your PS3 and you got your PS3 Slim. Maybe one of those systems doesn't like the store nearly as much. I mean, I was having troubles with it after a while too with the PlayStation Store. It was eventually lagging whenever I was searching for too long or staying around for too long. But the browser version also did the same thing. So yeah, and one final detail that I just want to, while it's not officially confirmed, I just want to get this as a personal thought and opinion. I've seen some people get concerned that the place, like, for instance, if you pop in a game like Pure, now I know this game doesn't really have an update as far as I remember, but yeah, if you say you pop in a game, it asks for an update, you can't update it because the PSN servers are down. Or, you know, you're thinking, oh no, the PS Store is down, so I can't get the PlayStation updates. Also, you know, you can't sync up your trophies because, you know, the servers are going down. As far as Sony's official statement is concerned, they only strictly say the PlayStation Store is going to be taken down on the PlayStation 3, the PSP, and the PS Vita. They mentioned you can still access your PlayStation Plus content, as long as you have it, that is. You can still get your trophies. It will still sync up because they don't mention anything about servers being taken down. You can still access the servers as far as I'm concerned because it's only the PlayStation Store. Also, if they were closing the PSN entirely, why would they say that you can still download your content? Think about that for a moment. If you can still download your content, why would they remove, like, okay, think of it this logically. You need an internet connection to even sync up your trophies. You need an internet connection to go online. You still need online to download patches. It wouldn't make any sense to close all that and leave the ability to download games. Does that make any sort of remote sense? Now, granted, there is no official statement over this, and this is just all theories in my head. I don't know whether or not this is true. Personally, I don't think trophies are going to be removed. I don't think the online service is going to go down. That's all connected to the PSN entirely. That's a completely different thing compared to the store. I don't know what else to really say, though. In my opinion, the PlayStation Store being taken down is definitely a saddening thing, because I missed out so many games on the digital storefront because of this. Like, some games are completely delisted. So, if you want any of these games off from the PlayStation Store from those platforms, do it before July 2nd, or some point in August if it's a PS Vita game. Because once those are gone, they're gone. You can't access these stores. This is pretty much an inactive app from here on out. Also, it's also kind of worth noting is that if you want PS3 avatars and themes, you gotta go through this store in front in particular. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Something else that's interesting to notice that Sony mentioned that you can you can still redeem vouchers and such. Oh yeah, you can. You can go to this section. Okay, so yeah, you can go here. This is kind of what the original PlayStation Store looked like. So yeah, you can actually still access it, because I think the reason why this still works is because the way it is, because it's still on the system itself. So yeah, I think that's really all there is to it. I think I've dragged it out long enough. I hope this actually helped out a little bit with the PlayStation Store side of things. If you're having any troubles, try to look into that. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it might be a region thing, or it might be a system thing. So, who knows? Like, if you can't access the store, you need to update it. Like, that's already a given. But yeah, overall, I think that's all I'm going to really talk about right now. I've kind of dragged this out long enough. I showed examples. I downloaded a game. I bought varying games altogether. I didn't buy a PSP or a PS Vita game because I don't own those systems. But those classics games that I bought do work on those systems. So technically, you can count those into account, I guess. So, yeah, I think that's all there is to it. I don't think there's really much else to really talk about this whole scenario thing. This video is definitely going to be a case scenario of like my YouTube videos showcasing the old YouTube themes. Remember that, like before there was the YouTube one theme or something like that, the one channel theme, I think it was. My goodness, that was such a long time ago. Making rant videos over that or ramble videos about that and just do this. This video is probably not going to get a lot of views either, but whatever. You know, I will still post OST projects, I'll still post extensions. I just wanted to make this video because I think some people may need some ideas of what might be the problem, and I think this video might help out a little bit. So, if this is any help of you, hopefully it is, but if it isn't, I don't know how else to answer. It's just one of those things, so... Anyways, I'll see you all next time, whether it's a Let's Play on the VG Gaming channel, which I still need to do eventually, but, you know, I've been trying to stay occupied with other stuff, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video. How many times have I said that? Probably edited this out quite a bit. But anyways, see you all guys next time. VG Mario 456 signing out.